Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am the Maize Man. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, share this with your friends on social media and beyond, comment in the comment section, and of course, subscribe. Today we are talking Michigan's NIL and its meteoric takeoff this season, why that is, plus Big Ten Media Days are underway, and yesterday, the other state's Ryan Day was under fire or being grilled. I'm gonna tell you why he's on the hot seat. Plus, the barbecue at the big house is coming up, and we're gonna talk about it, all that, and of course,
I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully, but disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans, poor little bro, man. And I'm gonna tell him why I'm mad. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus, the other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset.
First things first, I'm gonna tell him why I'm mad. That professional third baseman Ryan Day was at it again. This time, Big Ten Media Days, he was being grilled about his team's outlook, the losses to Michigan, and so forth. And he, out of his mouth, said that the 12 players that came back for one reason, and that was to beat the team up north. Now, of course, they want to win a championship and all of that, blah, 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 as well. But according to Ryan Day, the 12 players that returned to that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus came back with the express purpose of beating, quote, the team up north. We know who that is, of course. After 3 consecutive losses to Michigan, the other state is reeling. More importantly, after 3 consecutive losses to Michigan, Ryan Day's job is in question, and it has to be in question at this point. You could go over his resume, which is very good, by the way. As a fan of Michigan, it is not pleasant for me to say this, but it's pretty sparkling outside of Michigan, right? Especially in the Big Ten. He's 40-0 versus everybody in the Big Ten not named Michigan. You go beyond that, of course, he has it is kind of shaky against top level programs, as he's got losses to Georgia and the likes, and of course there's the Clemson thing, and then Alabama beat them pretty bad one time, and of course there's the 3 losses to Michigan. So there's that, and he wants us to believe that these guys came back to beat Michigan, which, don't get me wrong, I'm sure upon their return to the other state, one of the things at the top of the list is beating Michigan, maybe the thing at the top of the list. However, pump the brakes, because he went on to say about this world-beating talent on his team, according to every media member. And on paper, these guys do look like Tigers. However, on paper, they have looked like Tigers the last 3 seasons as well, and we know where that has got them. Absolutely nowhere in terms of beating Michigan. That said, he went on to say that these guys were not leading with NIL. In fact, that they were more sold into the culture of the other state. Hard stop. We don't believe you. You need more people. Anyway, I just wanted to express that. I wanted to get that off my chest. Let's talk about it in the comment section. Do you believe Cryin Ryan is the third baseman being a used car salesman here? Do you believe he's telling the truth? Let's talk about it. We move on. Moving on to Michigan's NIL and its improvement, especially since winning the national championship. TMI's Sam Webb caught up with Greg Dooley, who's sort of a specialist in this NIL space, and had the conversation about what has been the catalyst really of Michigan's improved NIL positioning. And Greg went on to talk about how before the national championship, he was invited by Champion Circle to a couple events, one pre-Rose Bowl and the other pre-national championship. And the message was pretty clear. If you like the air up here, basically, then we need to donate. Then you need to donate to help keep the roster basically at a championship level and even improve the roster via the transfer portal and just traditional recruiting. So that message was laid out, and obviously this year Michigan has played in a higher tier, basically, in the NIL game. They were in the running for Derek Meadows, who, and I don't want to say that he just chose a school because of the NIL, but it was clear that schools like Notre Dame and LSU are major players in the NIL space, mostly because of the money that they're able to raise, especially with Notre Dame being able to raise money through their donors and alumni and things like that. And Michigan really just had to put their nose to the grindstone and do a similar thing. And I think winning the national championship certainly helps Michigan's case with the donors. I'm not exactly sure why it took that to get Michigan donors and alumni to open the wallets. And I know that's not necessarily completely true, right? Because we know that they donate to a bunch of things, and Michigan has like one of the largest endowments and things like that in the country. But obviously, in terms of the athletic department and getting those donations through Champion Circle and with their partnerships recently, this has kind of moved the needle with those guys. And I certainly think that it's only going to improve from here. Unlike our, rivals to the South who have a $20 million, it's rumored, let me not say they have this, rumored to have a $20 million roster right now. Michigan is not quite doing that, but certainly they are able to stay in some recruitments that otherwise they wouldn't have in the past. Michigan's annual barbecue at the Big House recruiting event is coming up, and it's going to be a big one. But 12 of Michigan's 16 2025 commits will be attending the barbecue at the Big House, and the other 4, they are not worried about not attending, as they seem to be pretty locked in. But we're here to talk about and highlight a few of the recruits that Michigan will have on tap for the barbecue at the Big House, starting with 5-star wide receiver Jerome Miles out of West Jordan, Utah, Corner Canyon High School. He is ranked the number 10 wide receiver in the class, the number 1 recruit in the state of Utah. He is an absolute freak of nature. We mean that in the best way possible, the nicest way possible. 6'3", 215 pounds, but runs a 10-300 meter dash. Very fast, this kid. And I know Michigan spoke about taking 3 wide receivers in this class. They are right there. They already have 2 committed, and it is thought, we'll get to the next wide receiver here in a second, that he will be committing to the Wolverines, but I am positive they will make room for a wide receiver like Jerome Miles. Like I said, he's a bigger body wide receiver that they've been trying to get, super athletic, was committed to Ole Miss before decommitting because he didn't feel like he was a culture fit in Ole Miss. I'm sure that Michigan is going to try to sell him on the culture there in Ann Arbor, of course, being part of a national championship caliber team, as they are the defending national champs. But we'll keep you posted on all the information regarding Mr. Jerome Miles and the barbecue at the Big House as it becomes available. Moving on, that other wide receiver who I was talking about, who could be the 3rd wide receiver in Michigan's class, is a guy that I interviewed right here on the channel, Mr. Andrew Marsh, 4-star out of Katy, Texas, Jordan High School. He is the 62nd ranked recruit overall, the number 11 wide receiver, and the 13th ranked player in the state of Texas. He's another top 100 wide receiver. And he was very high on Michigan. Let me just say that. He has a strong bond with Michigan wide receiver coach Ron Bellamy, who has done an excellent job, I must say, in this class. I got to give him his credit there. Michigan is favored to land. Andrew Marsh, he has a crystal ball on 24/7. The On3 recruiting prediction machine has him favored to Michigan as well. He is looking to make his college decision sometime in August to honor his late father, probably on his birthday. So we'll keep you posted on that. However, things could change at the barbecue, and maybe he decides to make that commitment a little early. We'll be there to let you know about it if he does. Those are the 2025 guys. Now let's talk a little bit about a 2026 guy in running back Savion Hitter out of Mineral, Virginia, Woodbury Forest High School. He is ranked the 32nd overall player in the 2026 class, the number 2 running back and the number 1 player in the state of Virginia. He has a strong bond with running backs coach Tony Alford, has had that bond since Tony was in Columbus, but this would be a huge get for Michigan right now. The University of Virginia is favored for Hitter, but of course, attending the barbecue, having this relationship with Tony Alford bears well for the Wolverines. We'll keep you posted on this as well. Keep it locked to the channel for all the updates. Be sure to follow me everywhere at Maize Madman. Twitter, Instagram, all of those things at Maize Madman. Jump in that comment section. Let's talk about this. What do you think about the barbecue at the Big House? Some of the names that I highlighted. There are a lot more, by the way, that will be on tap for this. Let's talk about it, including both Michigan committed quarterbacks in the 2025 and 2026 class. So they'll have their recruiting hats on, and I'm sure that'll bode well in terms of getting some guys interested in the Wolverines as well. Maybe even some commitments at the barbecue. Let's talk about it. In the meantime, stay angry, my friends. I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. My ratings, they're about to go through the roof.
All right, now I'ma calm down. Son. I just don't get that all that Mace and that lock and all that. I just don't get it, son.
Just calm
And how the